Guys, okay, so I wanted to talk to you about the Bachelorette last night. I wanted to do a little recap. If you don't know, I love watching the Bachelorette franchise, albeit reality TV. It's just fun to me. You know, I love it. What can I say? I'm a sucker. So, I wanted to talk about, last night, what I thought. Maybe if you guys are into this, comment below if you want to see me do more Bachelorette recaps. Definitely comment, and I would love to talk about it because not that many of my friends watch this show, and Jimmy clearly doesn't care about it, so I don't have many people to discuss this with. Um, so last night was the episode on Monday, June 15th. I'm not sure when this is going to get posted. It might be last night or the night before last night, technically for you. But it's the date where Kaitlyn does a one-on-one. It's basically when Nick moves right into the house. So, first of all, thoughts on Nick. I didn't like him when he was in Andy's season. But I just like Josh better, and that was why. Then at the women's tell-all of Andy's season, when he kind of outed her for sleeping together, yeah, that wasn't the best move, I will say. That's kind of low, but you have to keep in mind he was really hurt. You can tell he's a very emotional guy, and he was heartbroken by Andy. I mean, you've never seen a guy get rejected and like send her a letter that's like, "Are you sure you want to break up with me?" I mean, that's kind of pathetic, people. Like, he really, really had to like her a lot for him to do that and, kind of humiliate himself on national TV. Um, so, I think he was just hurt and he just wanted answers and he kind of felt like, you shouldn't have been that intimate with me if you didn't, you weren't planning to pick me, whatever. Also, I mean, you have to think of the other side of things is that if it was a girl who had brought that up at a rose ceremony, we probably would have all been like, yeah, you tell him, sister. Women sticking up for themselves and not getting taken advantage of. So, we can't say that if it's a woman and then get all mad if a guy does it. That's kind of a double standard on our part as women. So, not that into Nick, but I don't think Kaitlyn should have brought him into this season. I don't, because um, that is just very insulting to the guys that are already there. And what I can't figure out is how much she actually liked him. Because to be honest, if she really, really was into him, she probably, I mean, I don't know, this is hard to say, but I would say if she was that into him, she should have just not gone on The Bachelorette. So clearly they were just casual, not a big deal. When she became Bachelorette, she pretty much became Bachelorette. She pretty much just said, "Oh well, guess I can't get involved with Nick." Oh well, clearly it wasn't that big of a loss to her at the time because she thought that she would never see him again. So when she saw him, um, I think it was just kind of shock and she didn't know what to do. And it's this guy that she'd been texting and, she liked him. He's, clearly he's a little seductress himself. He kissed her and he wasn't even on the show yet, technically. He wasn't even invited to stay. So, they just have a real physical connection and I think she just jumps with that. And, but yeah, I think it was kind of wrong of her. It sends a bad message to the other guys there that basically, whatever I told you about how much I feel about you, I might actually like this guy more. So he's coming too. So anyway, I don't think she should have brought Nick. However, I think I was really impressed by how he handled himself when he came in and they were all sitting on the couch and, all the guys were grilling him with questions. He answered them all very graciously. He wasn't an asshole. He understood where they were coming from. He tried to explain why he was there, and show them he was serious about Kaitlyn, and without doing anything disrespectful to their relationships they had already formed. So, um, the weird thing to me though was when he was like, "Oh yeah, she's a cool chick." That was kind of weird. But I don't know, maybe that's just how he talks. And to be honest, I mean, Kaitlyn has a very she has a unique personality that's very goofy. It's laid back. It's more like eclectic, urban. So I think, I think she appreciates that terminology, even though some of us think it's kind of unromantic. But anyways, so Nick is there. Everyone hates him, of course, as they should. But at the same time, they need to be mature adults, and not take the route that Joshua took about, being that guy where, you're going to rat on him. I mean, basically, Joshua was just insecure with himself and didn't know if he was going to be getting a rose. He already messed up with that whole "let you give me a haircut and then it doesn't work" thing. So I think he was kind of just like desperate, and maybe he was letting Nick's presence really make him even more anxious. Whatever, but Joshua should have just kept to himself. I don't think he'll be there much longer. Now I have heard the rumors about Kaitlyn Snapchatting a picture of her with the winner, like laying in bed together, and then taking it off real quick. Now I don't know how I feel about that. I've heard it could be fake. The image. I also, Reality Steve, the guy who does the spoilers, I never read them because I don't want to know, but once I saw that picture, I did go and look what he had to say. I'm not going to spoil it for any of you guys, so don't worry, no spoilers. But yeah, so I think hearing those things are influencing how I feel about Nick, just in general in the scheme of everyone else's presence, and that's all I'm going to say. But now the one-on-one date with Ben H. I really like Ben H. He seems sweet. They had a good start. That other, like 2 episodes ago, they had a good connection. I love both Bens. My number one pick on the whole show is Ben Z. He is so fine. Can I just tell you? If you don't know, go look him up. Ben Zorn, Zorn. He's like a personal trainer. I don't know where he lives. Maybe California. But the man's got it going on. I want him to win it all, or be the next Bachelor if not. But we'll see what happens. But yes, both Bens, love Ben Z. Ben H is good too, and I love Shawn. I guess like Shawn's like, I think it's like Ben H or Ben Z is my number one, and then the other Ben and Shawn are tied because I don't know. We'll see about them. Shawn's like, there's something about him. I don't know. He's like too perfect, but also I think Benzie is perfect. But I don't know. I think maybe Shawn's just not my type. I've never liked blondes. I don't know why. Like, I've never dated one. If you tell me a blonde and a brunette, I always like the brunette better. I don't know what it is. But anyway, so that's how I feel about Shawn. Now Shawn got a good one-on-one date. I liked how he reacted when Nick was there. I liked that he told Kaitlyn, this kind of makes me take steps back, because he was the only one who correctly let her know his concern, but handled it in a mature way and spun it as, this is an issue because it's affecting our relationship and how I'm acting towards you, rather than the way Josh did it, where he was just like, I don't like him, he's up to no good. He was kind of like a tattletale, like not bringing up, oh, this is how it's affecting our relationship together, Kaitlyn. So I think the way Shawn brought that up at the first rose ceremony at the Mets field was really nice, because it kind of, let Kaitlyn know, like, hey, I'm not going to pretend everything's okay. I'm going to tell you what's up, and I'm letting my guard down. Oh no. And it kind of set it up perfectly for the one-on-one date where then he let his guard down and told her he was falling in love with her, which to me is a little bit soon. At this point, he's probably known her for like 2 weeks and probably hung out with her a total of like 2 hours. So it's kind of weird, but whatever. So the last thing I want to talk about is Ian. Now, I'm very disappointed because I can't remember. I have to go back and look at my tweet. Actually, I'll look right now. So in the beginning of the season, when they released like the photos of all the bachelors, I went through and I picked out who were my top three, just based on, you know, their photos and those little descriptions they put about them, like with a few little Q&A. Sorry, I'm looking at my phone to find the tweet. So anyway, I had picked Benzie and Shawn because they're hotties, and I'm pretty sure I picked Ian as the other guy I liked. Now he's letting me down. Oh, okay. Phew. I saved myself. I must have almost picked Ian, but I didn't. My tweet, you can see here. Well, can you? No. Yes, right here. It says, after reading the new Bachelorette contestant bios, I can say my faves are Benzie, parentheses, heart eye emoji. Jonathan, parentheses, loves Sam Smith. Jonathan's the guy that actually got booted, but they just announced he's going to be on Bachelor in Paradise. And Shawn B, parentheses, seems sweet. Guess I have good taste, people. What can I say? But anyway, so Ian is a giant mess. Now, here's the thing I'm not sure of. I should have paid better attention to the clothes he was wearing and all his commentaries, because I think that editing plays a huge part in The Bachelor and Bachelorette, and I actually know that for a fact too, because you know, when you read interviews from contestants that have been on the show, they talk about it. They talk about it at the Women Tell All, with all the people that are unhappy say, oh, you know, they edited me to be that way. And even, I mean, I went to the premiere watch party in Fort Lauderdale this season, the premiere, the first night of Kaitlyn's show. It was hosted by Michelle Money and Becca, who was the runner-up for Crystal's season. And then like Ashley the eyelashes, the Kardashian, and a few other girls from Crystal's season. So they did like a Q&A, and they were kind of talking about how it's edited and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, the whole time I was watching Ian and all of his absurd comments about how amazing he is and how, you know, his ex-girlfriend was hotter than Kaitlyn and he's such a catch and he's not even interested in her because she just is here for a circus and to make out with everyone. I think a lot of that was editing, because here's the thing. He's now been on the show for about a good, 5 or 6 episodes. So I kind of think that of the whole time, like, we knew nothing about Ian being like this until this episode. But I kind of think he probably made comments like that all throughout the, 1 or 2 months of the filming up to this point. And I suspect they kind of took every bad comment he ever said and waited till this episode and put them all together at once so that it would make him seem more evil. Because, to be honest, this episode was pretty boring. Like, 2 one-on-one dates, they both went good, they were romantic, Nick was there. Okay, people didn't like him, but to be honest, like, they weren't that mean to him. They were mature, like, it wasn't as big of a drama as it could have been. No one tried to fight him, no one cursed him out, it was pretty tame. So I think they needed something to spice up this episode, and I think that's where they took Ian's commentary and really made something out of it. So probably what happened was they do so many interviews and they only take certain clips to actually use. So probably, throughout his time, he said, oh, I went to Princeton, I went to, whatever, I did modeling, I'm a great catch, Maybe he said that, but he said a million other things about how Kaitlyn did this and this, and she's a great catch too, so they should be together. But maybe the producers only took the clip of him saying all about him and threw it into tonight. You see what I'm getting at? So, yes, he seems like the big, like a big jerk, but I suspect, that's a character that they wanted to portray. And, I'm not going to say I would date him, but I'm going to say I don't know if he's as horrendous as they pieced him together to be. I think we'll have to find out. I don't think he's going to be the next Bachelor as he wanted to. Maybe that was a joke. Who knows? I don't think he's going to be on Bachelor in Paradise because no girls will like him, so he'll be the first one to lose. And um, so I think the only time we're going to see him again is at the rose ceremony, the Men Tell All special, and maybe like random interviews if anyone wants to interview him. I don't know, like Us Weekly or whoever. But other than that, I don't know if we'll ever find out who Ian really is as a person. So that is it. Next week is the big week where Kaitlyn sleeps with someone, supposedly. I don't know if it's Nick. I don't know if it's another guy. I don't know who it is. I'm not trying to think too far into it, but um, leave me, okay, so like this video if you like give me a thumbs up if you like Bachelorette recaps, and if you want me to recap next week, then I will keep doing this because I love me some Bachelorette people. All right, thanks guys. Bye.